here at the Lloyd Noble Center where Oklahoma has defeated Oklahoma State 88-76. I'm Jenni Carlson here with Ryan Aber, OU beat writer, and John Helsley, OSU beat writer, to talk a little Bedlam. Let's start with you, Ryan, and let's talk about another Ryan Spangler, who went pretty crazy for the Sooners tonight, another double-double. You guys wrote about the little big man in our Monday paper. It proved to be absolutely spot on. He was huge in this game.
Absolutely. Ryan Spangler dominated from the start, got into some foul trouble in the first half, but the bench was able to keep that margin up, and in the second half it was more of the same. He finished with 15 points, 18 rebounds, and really a big reason why the Sooners won, because of the way they dominated inside.
Well, John, we knew that obviously losing Michael Cobbins is going to be an ongoing story, but now it seems like foul trouble is one of the big issues that's coming up for the Cowboys. They just can't seem to keep guys on the floor.
And I think part of that is a result of not having Cobbins. You know, LeBron Nash is having to play a big man role. He fouls out, plays 17 minutes. Walk-on Christian Sager plays more minutes than LeBron Nash does tonight. Kamari Murphy, their postman, fouls out. Stevie Clark, a little guy, fouls out. It's becoming a recurring theme, and you have to wonder, is this something that they're going to be able to overcome?
Well, good news for Oklahoma is that they got some great production out of their Oklahoma kids. We talked about Spangler before, but they got great production out of Tyler Neal, out of Jordan Woodard. Those Oklahoma kids really coming up big. That's got to be a huge boost moving forward for this team.
Absolutely. OU had 48 of their 88 points came from the three local kids, and 24 of their 42 rebounds came from Ryan Spangler, Jordan Woodard, Tyler Neal. Tyler Neal really gave them a spark off the bench when Spangler got in foul trouble early, scored 10 points during that stretch late in the first half, hit a couple big threes, helped them keep that margin, and it was his final Bedlam game here at Lloyd Noble Center. Never lost. For Jordan Woodard and Ryan Spangler, it was their first Bedlam game here at Lloyd Noble Center, and they were able to keep that streak going.
Well, you mentioned that streak, and John, it seems like the Cowboys just can't quite find the right formula to come in here and win. You think with a guy like Marcus Smart sort of leading the charge, especially after the disappointment he had on Saturday, maybe he would be at the spark for the Cowboys tonight. He had a rough night too.
Well, he did. He gets 2 early fouls and plays 6 minutes in the first half. And that's been a little bit of a trend here too. Slow starts, and when your go-to guy gets in foul trouble, Nash gets in foul trouble. He's been a really good player for them of late, a good scorer for them. And, they had some weird lineups out there, some weird combinations in the first half, really never got into a good offensive flow, and they never could really overcome it. Phil Forte had a great game, 6 of 6 3-point line, did all he could to keep them in it, but in the end they just didn't have enough horses.
Unconscious Phil Forte was a few times. A lot of NBA scouts here tonight. I'm sure that they were thinking, man, if that guy was just a couple inches taller, he'd be the perfect NBA prospect. Guys, let's talk lastly about where this game sort of takes these teams next. Let's start with you, John. As you look ahead to the schedule and the way this game played out, what sort of residual do you feel like is there for the Cowboys?
Well, I tell you what, they've got a big 2-game stretch coming up. 2 home games. They get Baylor on Saturday, and they get Iowa State coming in on another big Monday game. And these are really must-win games all of a sudden for the Cowboys. Not necessarily to hang in the race. It looks like they're in a bad spot there, but just to regain some momentum and try and kind of redefine themselves as a team that can do some things in the conference, but really in the NCAA tournament.
All right, Ryan, what about the Sooners? Where does this game take them from here?
Well, I think their third win over a top 12 team in their last 6 games. They've got another really good team on the road at Iowa State on Saturday. And if they're able to win that game on the road after beating the Cyclones here, I mean, they're right in the thick of the Big 12 race. Obviously, they got to hope Kansas loses. They've got Kansas late in February up in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. But the Sooners are right in the thick of this thing right now.
Definitely so. Thanks, guys. Good stuff. And be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.